wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel, so strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama. Yeah. And Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying. Back to work, cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah, oh. Where would we be without you? Yeah, you brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she is sophisticated, strong, yeah, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Not only that you are educated, yes you are, eccentric, empowering. You're mine, she's a queen. You're mine, you're my. Treat her like no price could be put on how much she's worth. So valuable, she's the soul of the earth. Yeah. All a part of God's genius plan. Powerful as she can be, the man's H-E-L-P. Yes, sophisticated, strong, simply amazing. She is humble, honest, and helpful. What I like about her is she's educated. She's my ebony, empowering. Yeah. She's my queen. Sophisticated, strong, simply amazing. She's amazing to me. Humble, honest, if you ever had one. She's educated, she's my queen. She built me up, she keeps me going. Sophisticated, strong, she's my queen. Simply amazing. She is, oh my, she's my queen. She's educated and she's empowering. She is my queen. Well, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good morning to some of you in some parts of the world. I am R.C. Blakes, and I want to welcome you back again to another Let's Talk with R.C. Blakes.
Woo, man, we're sitting down here in the South, we're sitting here in Texas, and they're telling us we're gonna get a little snow, so everybody's excited for the inch or 2 or 3 inches of snow that they're saying we're going to get. I know those of you that are up in the north and in other parts of the world, you gotta be out of your mind. Well, we're excited. It's an exciting time when we get snow in these parts of the world. Would you do me a favor and invite as many people as you can into this conversation? I just need your help. I don't know why YouTube doesn't like me anymore, but so many of our people are not getting the notifications that we are live. And I had one the other day. She was saying that she's grateful that I'm taking a break from YouTube and I'm not on. I'm like, I ain't taking no break. I'm still here. They just not telling y'all I'm here. So, hey man, I need y'all to help me. I need you to help me. I was pondering dealing with this particular lesson last week. I forget what we dealt with last week, but whatever it was, it cut across my dealing with this. Relative to, a woman, there are 3 things that show up really huge in a woman's life when she's really living a life that's out of control. And what we're looking at today is a generation of women who are out of control of themselves. No sense of internal government. And we know that you don't have any sense of internal government because if you did, there's no way in the world that you would be making some of the personal choices that you're making that are impacting you personally so negatively. This is a generation of women and men. I have to say that because I'm not going to put it in and men, of course, and men, but I'm talking directly to women now. This is a generation of women who are out of control. And it's a dangerous, dangerous thing for a woman to be in a predatory world and not have control of herself. Because if you're not in control of you, something else is. And so there are quite a few of you who say, well, I got $1 million business. Yeah, I've risen to the ranks in corporate America. And you feel like because of all of these different things, all of these trinkets that life offers us, you feel like that means you have it all together. The reality is sometimes you were driven to achieve all of these things because there was always an internal void. Sometimes the very things that I'm going to deal with tonight were the things that fueled your rise to all of the quote unquote success. But is it success for real if you had to lose yourself to attain it? There's some of you that are watching me right now. You're in the grips of making a choice for a man that within the purest and innermost parts of your being, this man is not right for you, but he fits the bill in terms of optics. He's your type. He's going to look good in your social circle. But you know in your spirit, this is not it. You don't even have a peace about it. You're out of control. You're being governed. You're being driven by forces and by things that are outside of you. And watch this. Don't include God. You're out of control. Now, I'm not going to belabor this point, but I must make this point. I believe with all of my heart that in most cases, when a woman is living a life that is out of control, it is because of unresolved daddy issues, father wounds. There's a whole online program that's sitting on my website at rcblakes.com right now entitled Transcending the Father Wound. It's not just for women, it's for men and women, but there's a whole generation of women who are living lives that are completely off the rails because you never had the stabilizing presence of a father. You see, because for a daughter, and this is the kind of stuff that we talk about in this book, The Father-Daughter Talk. This was my first book written to women or to the empowerment of women. But for a daughter, the mirror in which you capture the image of yourself is originally in the eyes of your father. So when you look in your father's eye, and it's how your father looks back at you, that you capture an image of yourself. And the window through which you view the world is also the same eyes of your father. Your father establishes the way you see yourself and the way you see the world. Thus you have my mission, my purpose in life. I never knew that this would be my mission or my purpose, but my mission and purpose in life is to, as a loving father, big brother for some, pastor for many, restore the self-respect, self-love, and self-perspective of womanhood back to a generation of women who missed what they should have gotten from their fathers. But as I teach in Transcending the Father Wound, when the natural father fails, the heavenly Father raises up divine substitutes. And so every Monday night, I'm like a substitute father for a generation of women all around the world. So when the father is disconnected from the daughter, her life is more likely to spin out of control because the base of her identity is removed. So a woman that grows to adulthood without having had the true development, oh, how should I put this? Without having had the true security of a development that was overseen by a loving, stable father, she grows into adulthood, she becomes a grown woman, but in her mind, she's still a little girl that is searching for purpose, searching for identity, searching for value. All of these things that should have been secured within her by the voice of her father, she grows into adulthood searching for those things on her own. Because when the father is removed, the daughter is made spiritually, emotionally, and even physically vulnerable. And so let me give you some signs of an out of control life? Let me give you some signs of an out of control life. A woman whose life is out of control keeps making the same self-defeating errors. Keep doing the same thing over and over again. What's the clearest definition of insanity? Continue to do the same thing expecting different results or different outcomes. Signs of an out of control life. Keep making the same self-defeating errors, emotionally fragile, and needy of any kind of attention. Needy of any kind of attention. Why else would a woman in her right mind, well-educated, gifted, beautiful, why else would a woman from that perspective get on social media and get naked? Needy of any kind of attention. Older in years, okay, here you go. I'll put it this way. You're a mother that is trying to hang with your daughters. You're trying to dress like them. You're trying to go to the same club with them. Bae, you are out of control. Easily manipulated by others, even people who are less intelligent. You, my friend, are out of control. Will do anything to fit in. You just want to be a part. You want to be a part of the friend circle. You want to be a part of the group. Do anything to fit in. Living for things that don't really matter. Living for things that don't really matter. Here's another one. No real grasp on what makes you happy. I think that's probably one of the biggest ones there. You're doing all of this stuff and you're never happy. You're out of control. You got all of these things, you're doing all of these things, and you're never happy. And you're attracted to everything poisonous. You know, the Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 6 and 7. He uses some strong language here. He says, "For of this sort are they which creep into houses." He's talking about that there would be a generation of abusive and narcissistic and users relative to men that would rise up. And he says, "For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins." Led away. What does led away imply? You're not being led by yourself or by your own faculties. You're led away. Something outside of you is leading you. Led away with divers lust, ever learning, and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. How do we know you've come to the knowledge of the truth? When you can apply it. When you can apply it to your life. Who cares what you know if it ain't working for you? So when you look at this text, it speaks of a silly woman being easily manipulated or managed by the world, and then she's ultimately abandoned. She lives under the influence of manipulation. She's not in control of her own self. 3 things I want to give you, and then I'm out of here. I'm out. Give you these 3 things. I taught this lesson many, many, many years ago. Where did I teach this lesson at? Oh, wow. This lesson was taught at the original Father-Daughter Talk Conference in 2014. This lesson is 10 years old. Number one, when a woman is out of control, the number one marker, the number one thing I believe that you will be able to identify in yourself and or in others is that a woman that's living a life that is out of control, manipulated and managed by things other than God and or herself, she is filled, watch this, with vain pursuits. She's a woman that is filled with vain pursuits. What's vanity? Vanity is anything that's really just a waste of time. It's giving more attention to surface, superficial things that don't really last, don't really have eternal value or longevity in terms of weight. It's vain. It's like putting all of your money on your looks or your youth, and that stuff is fleeting, right? I mean, you should take care of yourself until the day you're gone, right? But you ain't gonna look at 50 like you looked at 20. And you think you can go to the cosmetic person and let them do all that cutting on you and everything. They're gonna turn you into something else. It's far better to embrace aging gracefully than to go let these people do a whole lot of this stuff to you and turn you into something. They're gonna turn you into something else. Because all of this on the outside is what? Vain. When I was younger, I used to brag about what I drove, how much money I had, how much this cost, how much that cost. And as I got older, I realized that money comes, money goes. Money does not make you happy. Money does not make you a success in life, right? And I started realizing as I got older that money and all of these things are vain. Well, a woman that's out of control, she lives her life in large part, if not entirely, for vain pursuits. Because a dominant area where women tend to spin out of control is in the area of vanity. Again, when a father has not made sufficient deposits into the soul of his daughter, she seeks to find her worth in external tokens like a certain color, on the bottom of her shoe, and it's cool. I mean, you got you some Louboutins. That's nice. That's beautiful. I'm glad that you can afford to wear that shoe. Anybody that got that shoe know that shoe really hurts though. But it's cool that you can wear that shoe and you got the red under the bottom and you cross your legs and you're almost breaking your ankle trying to show people that you got red under the bottom of your shoe, because that's one of the ways you find what? Value. Through vain pursuits, a certain tag in your collar, or of your clothing, or a particular bag you're carrying on your arm. You associate your worth with the price tag on an item. But I just started talking about something the other day, how Walmart has started to sell the Walmart Birkin bag, the bag from Hermes that people spend tens of thousands and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars on. Walmart got their version of it. And they say it looked just like but here you done found your whole sense of pride and your whole sense of worth in this bag you spent $30,000, $40,000 on, and now sister done went over to Walmart and she got one look just like it. I don't know what they're spending on it, but it ain't no thousands of dollars. The woman that is out of control pays little attention to the fact that she is less and less happy with all of this stuff. So you got your, am I gonna get in trouble tonight? You got your BBL. You've been wanting your BBL. You got it. You got it. You went all the way down to South America to get it. You couldn't even afford to stay there to let the thing heal up, and so you suffered the whole plane trip trying to get back home. You got your BBL, you know, you got more than you probably should have got. You got your face lifted. You can't even close your eyes. You can't even frown no more. You can't be sad like a clown. Your mouth stay up there. You got all of this. You got the wardrobe, you got the car, you got all of this stuff, all of this vanity. You got this stuff and you ain't happy. You're not happy. It's called the hedonic treadmill. According to the hedonic treadmill, as a person makes more money, expectations and desires rise in tandem, which results in no permanent gain in happiness. One of my daughters asked me some weeks ago, she said, basically the question was, what can I do to, she asked me, she's a very accomplished person, you know, business-wise, financially and all that. So she asked me the question, she says, what can I do to ensure that I am living in my feminine? I said, shut your ambition off when it gets to be too much, because ambition does not have a limit. And when you're like an entrepreneurial type person, you just keep seeing opportunity, and you keep running behind all of this stuff. And you'll run behind all of this stuff until you lose your essence as a woman. You got to know when to say enough money is enough money. I need time to rest. I need time to enjoy the money I've made. I need time to be a woman. I don't need to be a boss chick CEO 24/7. That's not sustainable. And while you're making all of this money and you're accomplishing all of these goals, you're going to end up unhappy. Because that's beneath what God has purely created you for. I know I'm getting in trouble on that one, but it's all right. So a vain pursuit is an activity or goal that drains vital resources like time, money, femininity, and energy, and leaves the pursuer void and empty in the end. So if you run behind all of this stuff, you got all of this stuff, you're doing all of these things, and are you still not happy? Is it worth it? Was it worth it? You got the big house, you got the big car, you making the 7 figures, 8 figures maybe, but is it worth it? And then you making all of this money and you got all of this, you bragging about how many businesses you opening up. I'm opening up another business this year. I'm opening up another business this year. Babe, you ain't designed for all that like that. Not if you just plan on being a single woman that's just running around making money the rest of your life, and you're gonna be like Oprah and maybe, you know, hopefully give your money to charity or do something like that, leave a legacy. Cool, if that's your choice. But if you know in your heart that you're a wife at your core, why would you preoccupy yourself with having to be married to all of these businesses and all of these employees when you long ago had enough money? Vain pursuits, out of control. When we're broken on the inside, we make a lot of choices on the outside that work against. Matthew chapter 16, verse 26 says, what kind of deal is it to get everything you want but lose yourself? King James says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and then lose his soul? Here he says, in the Message version, he says, what kind of deal is it to get everything you want but lose yourself? What could you ever trade your soul for? Here's a statement I made way back then. Way back then. I can't believe this lesson is from the original father-daughter talk. An overstocked closet is sometimes the sign of an empty soul. When you have to shop to feel better, you're really sick. And I know I'm talking to a lot of you now. I know I know I'm talking to a lot of you now. But it's all vanity. And you see, ungodly men love a vain woman because she's open to flattery, and vain women always have a price because they want things. She's so superficial, she may be bought. Ecclesiastes 1 and 2 says, vapor of vapors and futility of futilities, says the preacher. Vapor of vapors and futility of futilities, all is vanity. In other words, emptiness, falsity, and vainglory. Because vanity only lives on the surface. When you are vain, when you are a vain woman, you are in essence shallow. Now let's see something here. Here's a statement for you. Vanity is the attempt to purchase happiness and self-identity. Vanity is a cloak for insecurities. So we are generally unhappy because we have extreme expectations relating to things that don't matter and minute desires for the most important things. That's why I can't get you to even consider the concept of kind over type, vain pursuit. You'd rather pursue a man that is your type and never consider if he's your kind or not. Okay, let's look at this. I only have 3 points. My time is going though. Breaking free from vanity. Number 1, or letter A, revisit your self-definition. How do you really define yourself? What's the source of your definition? What is the source of your definition? If you are defining yourself by the wrong stuff, you are failing. If you're defining yourself by the opinions of men who don't even know who they are, you already know you're off the rails. If you're defining yourself by how much you got in the bank, I was talking to a dear heart today, and just a conversation, that I felt needed to be had, and she reached out, extremely educated, extremely accomplished, high-earning Christian woman, very dignified woman. And somewhere within our hour-long conversation, the question was asked, how can a woman submit to a man that doesn't make as much money to her? And I had to make her understand that she didn't get that idea that a man that makes less money than a woman is not worthy of submission from the Bible. She didn't even really get that from, any strong family structure. Because the things that make a man a husband and a man worthy to submit to are far greater than money. He got to have a work ethic. He can't be a bum laying around there on his do nothing, right? But in a lot of cases, based on what the profession is, the woman will make more money than the man. My wife made more money than me. But, you know, we get these definitions from the wrong places about life, about marriage, you know, and then I reversed the logic. I said, if the logic says I can't submit to a man that makes less money than me, is the logic in reverse saying that a man that makes more money than me automatically gets submission? What if he's a billionaire? You automatically submit to him? And he's a womanizer, a demon? He physically abuses you? You can automatically submit to him? No, it is the character of a man. And so it is with if you're going to break free from vanity, you got to revisit your self-definition. Where did this definition come from? Who defined me? Is my definition in alignment with the Creator's idea of me? Letter B, forcefully put yourself in transparent predicaments, because there is no transformation without transparency. In other words, you got to put yourself in predicaments where somebody's going to call you on the carpet. Somebody's going to hold you to your truth. And you can't run from that. Accountability. And then letter C, you got to begin to give away what you need. Vanity is an affirmation void, trying to fill itself. When you affirm others, your void is filled simultaneously. What you make happen for others, the Bible says God will make happen for you. And then letter D, begin to focus on things eternal. Take your focus off of all of this superficial, temporary stuff and focus on things eternal. Colossians 3:2 says, set your affection on things above, not on things on earth. Okay, now point number 2. I only have 3 I'm making. A woman is out of control, living a life that's out of control. We said she lives her life with vain pursuits. Number 2, she also lives her life with unprocessed hurt. She lives her life with unprocessed hurt. When you see a woman that's living a life, usually when you see a woman that's living a life full of vain pursuits, just running behind a whole lot of stuff that amounts to nothing, usually that is a trauma response. And here's a woman that you're looking at who has a lot of unprocessed hurt. She's not done the work. She's not done the work. Another question, amazing conversation. I should have recorded it, actually. There's some great stuff to deal with. Another question that came up today was, how can a single woman, a single accomplished visionary woman, at the same time make space for a future husband when she knows she's a wife? And I said, well, the way you make room for a future husband is, a few things. One of those things, so I won't go through the whole list. One of those things was deal with your trauma while you're by yourself. Don't wait till your husband show up to go to therapy. Go to therapy now. Go to counseling now. Get deliverance now. You need to go lay on the altar. Go lay on the altar now. Deal with your hurt now. Don't wait until the man shows up that now you trying to get healthy because now you got a man. Process your hurt while you're in your alone season. Could it be that that's the reason a lot of you are still by yourselves? God is giving you a chance to process that stuff so that it does not get in the way when God sends the right one into your life. But when you see women that are living lives that are out of control, it's a lot of unprocessed hurt. here's a statement I made as many years ago. Men in general are the dispensers of hurt, in general, while women are the containers of hurt. While the man exudes pain, the woman envelops pain. See, all of the problems in the world are not generally caused by women. They're caused by men. That's why I hold men accountable, right? Women don't start wars, men start wars. Generally, women are not running up and down the streets of the United States of America murdering and killing off sons and fathers and husbands and all of this kind of. Men are doing that. Walking down the street, men are not generally scared of women, but women are afraid of men because men in general are the dispensers of hurt, but women are the containers. Women are hurt by their fathers, they're hurt by their lovers, their husbands, their boyfriends. They're then hurt by their sons many times. Not to say that men are not hurt by women, because men are hurt by women as well. The greatest hurt men typically have to deal with is mother wounds, which, leads to other wounds. But women who are loud, you think about women that are loud and aggressive and hostile, they're trying to process hurt. That's why I have a patience. I'm very patient with women because I can sense the hurt and I feel a sense of responsibility as a man, because in most cases, we as men did that. But women are often spinning out of control because they have issues that have hurt them emotionally and have yet to be addressed. And this turns into what? Bitterness. The initial hurt is only a seed designed to firmly plant itself in the historical database of the woman and thereby producing a perpetual harvest of self-destructive behaviors. I heard some person say, I don't remember who it was, whenever you see a woman that gets hysterical, if it's hysterical, it's historical. It's something from way back when that has not been dealt with, that is popping up in the moment. And it's coming out as, hysterics. If it's hysterical, it's historical. Look what Hebrews 12:15 says. Make sure no one gets left out of God's generosity. Keep a sharp eye out for weeds of bitter discontent. A thistle or two gone to seed can ruin a whole garden in no time. That's the Message Bible. The longer you stand in bitterness as a woman, the more permanent the damage to your life. Forgiveness is never about the offender. Forgiveness is always about you. To refuse to forgive is like drowning in an ocean and someone throws you a life preserver with your offender's name on it. You drowning in the ocean and someone throws you a life preserver, but the life preserver has your offender's name on it. Would you refuse the salvation because it's reference to your offender? Or would you receive? Well, forgiveness is your life preserver. There are many women that are struggling through life because you have too many people that you've been incapable of forgiving. And now it's showing up in your present life as unprocessed hurt. This is why you can't seem to make a relationship work. This is why your friendships end poorly. This is why if you're a church person, you can't you can't be comfortable in any particular congregation for any length of time. You've had 10 different churches in the last 3 years. This is why you always have issues on every job you go. You have a lot of stuff in you that has not been processed. And what it's doing is it's snuffing out your essence, your virtue. Bitterness always throws its rocks and hides its hands. The results of bitterness usually seem unrelated. When a woman is hurt by a man in her life, it usually translates in her mind as abandonment. And so when a woman has unprocessed hurt, it's like, the visual would be a woman like having a lot of bags that are too numerous and too heavy for any individual to manage alone. And she's the bag lady, and she's trying to make her way through life, but she has all of these bags, and she doesn't understand why she can't make progress. You got to process some of these. Now, let's see something here. What you need is, when you're dealing with this unprocessed hurt thing, the main thing you need is closure. But you got to understand this. Closure requires only you. I know you thought closure required the person that hurt you coming back to you, falling down on their knees saying, "Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it." No, closure doesn't require that. Closure just requires you making a decision to let this go and let this person go into the hands of God, that you might move freely into your future. No door requires two people to close it. And once you realize that it's dangerous for the door to be open and you have other more important things to do, you close the door and you move on. You don't need to wait for the person that just attacked you and abused you and ran out of the door to come back to close the door. You can close the door on your own. It's called forgiveness. Now let's look at processing hurt. Then I'll move on to my third and final point, and I'll let you go for tonight. Letter A. Realize that everybody is void of something. So even the people that hurt you, a lot of times, watch this. Listen to this. This is going to help you. A lot of times you are angry and bitter with a person that hurt you, not understanding the whole story. This is why we're not qualified to be judges, people. We don't have the whole story. The person that hurt you, many times you don't realize that what you thought was just an intentional wound towards you or against you was the result of a deficiency in them based on something that they lacked in their life. You got to realize that everybody is void of something. Letter B. The difference between being a victim of your circumstances or a victor is choosing to focus one way or the other. You're going to either focus through the windshield or you're going to focus on the rearview mirror. Now, here's the problem. If you're focusing on the rearview mirror, you're focusing on things that you passed by. And it's best that you take your foot off the gas and don't proceed further if you choose to focus on the rear view mirror. Well, when you hold on to unforgiveness, you are living through the rear view mirror. There's a reason the rear view mirror is much smaller than the windshield. The windshield is designed for you to focus through to advance into what's in front of you. The rear view mirror is to show you what's behind you. If you keep your focus in the rear view, you will perpetuate what's already happened over and over and over and over again. Letter C, forgive the person that disappointed you. Just forgive them. Does that mean you call it right? No. Does that mean you let them back into your life? No. What it does mean is you say, God, you take them, deal with them the way you need to deal with them. I wash my hands of it. I move on. I'm free emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I'm moving on into a great future. And then letter D, don't create any absolute scenarios in your mind about issues you don't have all of the information on. In other words, leave room to think that possibly it's not the worst case scenario. And then letter E, don't take anything personally. Like me, for instance, I don't get offended. I don't get offended. Because sometimes people didn't give you what you needed because they didn't have it. You sitting there carrying a lifetime of bitterness with a person who just didn't have what you needed. They just didn't have it to give to you. You mad with somebody who, if you really knew the whole story, they gave you their very best. They gave you their best. They don't even understand why you mad with them, because they literally gave you the best they had. And watch this. The part they didn't give you, your Heavenly Father made up the difference anyway. You ain't missed a beat, but you're still sitting around here mad. You're out of control. You're living your life with a whole lot of unprocessed hurt. You can't be happy. You can't have joy. And so because you can't be happy, you can't have joy because of this unprocessed hurt, you got all of these vain ambitions trying to use stuff to make you happy. You can't be happy until you get your heart clean. And this leads me to number 3. And then I'm out of here. You know that a woman is living an out of control life, vain pursuits, unprocessed hurt, reckless relational choices. Oh, I know you out of control when I see the kind of man you choose consistently. I see my sister Alice on here with me tonight. That's my sister Alice Poole. Ain't got but one sister Alice now. I love my sister Alice. Reckless relational choices. Well, now you're gonna play crazy like you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me break it down for you. Having sex with people you don't even know. Giving wife privileges to a man that hadn't even given you a promise ring. Bringing a man up into your domicile where your children sleep, jeopardizing your life and theirs. Over what? Spending money on a grown man. Isolating yourself from people that will die for you over a man you don't even know. Turning away husband material for your type that has consistently been over the last 20 years the kind of man that comes in, wham, bam, thanks you, ma'am, and is gone. Reckless relational choices. when you out of control, we can tell you out of control by the kind of men you choose. By the kind of men you choose. See, you're not going to even have. There's this thing I'm working on. I just didn't get a chance to dig into it this week, but I'm gonna bring it to you all relative to the dynamics between a broken woman and a healthy man. Because a woman that has not dealt with her stuff, if she gets with a healthy husband of a man, there are certain things that she can do that can jeopardize that man's health. If you write down John chapter 4, verses 15 through 19, that's where you have the woman. Jesus meets the woman at the well, and he discloses that, oh my goodness, let me see. Where are you at? She says, it's 2:56 a.m. here. I lost every ounce of sleep. Where are you at? That's my mother. That's my mother-in-law. She says, can't buy you lunch the next day. She says, 2:56 in the morning. Where are you at? I forget what I was saying now. The woman with the issue of blood, Jesus, not the issue, the woman at the well, Jesus reveals that the woman, let me read the thing for you. John chapter 4, 15 through 19 says, the woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Jesus saith unto her, Go call thy husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that sayest thou truly. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Jesus said, You've been making a whole lot of pitiful relational decisions. A brilliant woman in her profession could very well be a bumbling idiot in relationships when she is processing from a place of emptiness. You go to asking yourself questions like, why, why me? We make relationship choices from one of 3 places. Watch this. The spirit, the part of you that's in touch with God, in other words. The intellect, the way you reason and rationalize stuff, or the emotions. Now, I hope I can say this without getting in trouble. Most women make your relational decisions out of your emotions, not even your intellect. Not even your intellect. I was watching this show, Love is Blind or something like that. Love is Blind. And I see how these, the man and the woman, they talking, there's a wall between them, they can't see one another and all of this kind of thing. And they fall in love with one another based on the conversation. And then they say, okay, well, we're going to reveal ourselves, and then we're going to spend some time together. And then you see how the women go through all of these emotional swings, They love the man today, and tomorrow they don't know if they love him or not. It's just everything's emotional. It's not even intellectual. It's not even spiritual. It's just emotional. So it's like the wind. And that's where most women make your relational decisions from. That's why women throw back great guys. And women are drawn to horrific demons. Because you're either making your relational decisions from your spirit, where God is influencing you, or from your intellect, where you at least have access to history, the mistakes you made, what you did wrong in the past. Or you're moving from a place of emotion that doesn't consult the intellect or the spirit. When you're living a life that's out of control, You're usually operating from a place of emotional, relational impulse. You're relationally confused. Now, let me give you some signs of being relationally confused. Letter A, being serious about playful men. You are confused, dear. You are serious about playful men. And you want me to say it nice. Letter B, granting privileges to a man who hasn't signed the contract. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Letter C, punishing innocent people for other people's sins. And let me shut it down with this. How to reboot your relational settings. You got to do a relational reboot. Letter A, think about what you're doing. Think about what you need more than what you want. Ask yourself, am I being driven by emotion? Is this smart? Am I being driven by my intellect, or am I being driven by the guidance of my spirit, who's in sync with Holy Spirit? Think about what you're doing. Stop doing the same thing without thinking about it. You keep on making the same mistake. And you keep on doing this. And then you want me to come here and you want me to say it nice. I don't know no nice way to say it. I'm being nice now, honestly, based, in comparison to what I'm really saying in my mind. If y'all could hear what I'm saying in my mind, yeah, we'd go viral. Seriously, we could go viral if I said what's in my mind right now. I'm just not gonna say what's in my mind. Not right now. I may say it when I get off of here, but I ain't gonna say it right now. Set your own standards. Because quite often you are stuck on a relational treadmill because it's what other people expect of you, or it's all you've known. It's your norm. As toxic as it is, it's your toxic norm. It's learned helplessness. Letter C, listen to the people that love you. Because the enemy tells you that the people that love you, the people that sacrifice for you, they're the ones you shouldn't listen to. Then letter D, open your heart to a different kind of man. If you know you've had bad experiences with your type, open your heart to a different kind of man. And allow your spirit. Don't date a man from your emotions. Date a man from your spirit and your intellect. Allow your spirit to feel what God is saying. Feel what God is showing you. Allow your intellect to, compare apples to oranges. Now, what does this look like next to what I've been getting? Even though what I've been getting is what I've been wanting. Do I really need what I wanted? Did I want it from a healthy place, or was that from an unhealthy place? What did it produce? And this is how you can reboot and stop being all over the place relationally. And then you get into all of these wild relationships, and you're having all of this unnecessary sex. Now you got to deal with all of these soul ties. You got to deal with all of this guilt and all of this shame, the spirit of shame. You need deliverance and all this kind of stuff. You need a therapist and an exorcist at the same time. You need to go into the room with the therapist, then you need to come on out, go right on down the hall to the exorcist. Somebody need to sprinkle some holy water on you, put some oil. You need to be greased up like fried chicken. Get yourself together. Get your life together. Get your life together. Get your life together. It's the wrong world for you to be a woman out here. Talking about you a boss chick and don't have no control of yourself. Ain't no boss chick. How you a boss chick and you ain't got no control? All right. I'm done. Oh, my nerves is bad. Whew, y'all did it to me tonight. My nerves are bad. You need to go over here. Go to the link. Go to the description. Find the link for BetterHelp Counseling. You need it. You need it, bae. You need it. You need somebody to talk to. And more importantly, you need somebody to talk to you and to help you work through all of your stuff. You can do it on the phone. Use that link, and it will afford you 10% off of the cost of your counseling. And they, in turn, will make a deposit into RC Blakes Ministries for my recommending them. Don't forget to go to rcblakes.com. Check out all of my online programs. Check out all of the merch. Everybody loves the On Top Going Higher hoodie. This is great weather for it right now. You can find that at rcblakesstore.com. You can check out all of my online programs, Soul Ties, Transcending the Father Wound. All of this you can find at rcblakes.com, RC Blakes Store. And again, don't forget to check out Training for Reigning. That's my latest book. That's the third book in the trilogy. I need you to go to Amazon and pick that up and make certain that you leave your assessment of the book. I keep forgetting the word that I'm supposed to use when I talk about that, but leave your assessment of the book on Amazon. It helps the book to move faster. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now listen, we are on our way to Ghana. We're on our way to Ghana in July. I am so looking forward to our trip to Ghana. We're going to be releasing the information about the Queenology one-day intensive in Ghana. We're going to be releasing that very soon for all of you that are in Africa that may want to attend the one-day intensive with Lisa and I. Queenology comes to Africa. But we're going to Ghana. Those of you that are in the United States and even in other countries, you can travel with us. But those of you that are Ghanaians, those of you that are in other parts of Africa, you can come on over to Ghana and you can be a part of the Queenology experience. But if you desire to go to Ghana, just go to RC Blakes. Go to rcblakes.com, and you can still sign up to go to Ghana if you desire to go. We'd love to have you. We have a great group that is going with us. And then in December, we are going to South Africa. Oh my goodness, South Africa is one of my favorite places in the world. And we're going to be there in December. We'd love to have you with us. So if you desire to do that as well, you got a whole year to pay for the South Africa trip. Go to rcblakes.com and you can sign up for that now. Thanks to all of you that have sown into our lives. I want to thank all of you who are members of the Royal Court. Hey, I'm certain that our moderators are putting the links in there for those of you that want to join the Royal Court. We pull aside and we have private Zoom meetings with those that are members of the Royal Court right here on YouTube. And it's not expensive at all. It's really just a way for you to support what Lisa and I do. And if you desire to be a part of the Royal Court, just look in the feed. I'm certain that the link is there somewhere for you to join the Royal Court. Now, I'm certain that I'm missing something like I always do. But I want you to know, till next time, I'm R.C. Blakes. I love you with all of my heart. I love you with all of my heart. And And you are, where is that? On top. Let me get this other stuff off here now. And going higher. I'll see you next time. I love you.